All right, what's up, y'all? This is another draft profile video. This time it will be with our first pick, round three, pick 40, Logan Bruss, guard out of Wisconsin. So let's just go ahead and take a look at some of the details about him. He, as you all know, went to Wisconsin. Kimberly, Wisconsin was his hometown. He was a senior. Uh, he's 6'5", 309. He's projected a 6.26 grade. And yeah, he was picked in round three, pick 40. Essentially, what I'm gonna do here is kind of go through his what he measured out at from NFL.com here. This draft profile, and I'm kind of gonna give my thoughts on what I think his role will be with the LA Rams and what I believe the Rams believe his role will be this upcoming season. And as I'm sure a lot of you know, I'm just going to come out right and say it. He's probably expected to start, and I expect him to start. Um, of course, that is, of course, depending upon how well he performs in training camp. Okay, if Logan gets to training camp and he just lays an egg and he's just not able to, kind of build the cohesion with the other members of the offensive line, if he's not able to study his playbook, he's just having trouble with some of the defensive line talent, then of course he will probably be benched. But I do not think that will be the case. I think I'm actually pretty excited about him. Everyone on the Rams and in the media seems to be really excited about him. So I'm getting the feeling, barring some sort of injury, knock on wood, or some sort of implosion where he just can't handle NFL practices. I think other than those things, I think he's going to start. I do. I think he's going to start, and I'm excited to see how he performs in training camp and in the preseason, if he even plays. Let's see. He ran a 5.32 40-yard dash, pretty good for a big man like that. Vertical jump 31, broad jump 112, 7.57 in the 3-cone drill, 20-yard shuffle 4.55. Steven Jackson. He went ahead and announced the pick. I thought that was pretty cool. Let's take a look at his bio. Bruss was the finalist for the 2016 Joe Thomas Award. That award is given to the top high school offensive lineman in Wisconsin. He started 6 games, 3 at right tackle, 3 as a blocking tight end. Interesting. And as a freshman in 2018. That was his freshman year, 2018. And then the next year, in 2019, he switched positions and had 12 starts as a right tackle and 1 at right guard. 1 at right guard. Just 1. And in 2020, he was 1 at right tackle, 5 at right guard. And that year, in 2020, he was named 3rd team All Big Ten. Then next year, in 2021, so last year, he was a 2nd team All League selection in 2021, starting 9 games at right tackle. Bruss missed 3 games due to a neck and shoulder injury during the season and opted out of the team's bowl game to get healthy for the NFL draft. So his little neck injury, he missed 3 games because of his neck. That's kind of a neck injuries are no joke. You kind of want to be careful with that. That is something to keep one eye on, see how it does. But, he opted not to play in the bowl game, so he had extra time to get healthy. So by all accounts, I believe he is good to go. From what I understand, I think he's good to go. But it's important, like I said, the neck and shoulders, specifically the neck, that's something you don't want to play with. So I'm sure he knows that. I'm sure his trainers know that. And they're keeping an eye on Keep an eye on it. Let's take a look at the overview. He is a guard prospect with tackle flexibility who appears to be well equipped for the NFL. Bruss is well proportioned, with athletic feet and a good core strength. He takes efficient angles to block in the Wisconsin zone heavy running scheme, but has the body control, leverage, and strength to operate in any running scheme. That is wonderful to hear. Wonderful to hear. All right, because we are definitely in need of some better run blocking from our offensive line. I'm not trying to hate, okay? I'm just keeping it real. When push came to shove, and it was the Super Bowl, we could not get anything going with the run game. And I understand. I'm not going to go off on a tangent or go down this rabbit hole. I understand it isn't all the offensive line. I get that. Okay, I understand it's not all on them. But having said that, I actually watched the game twice this past weekend because we got to record it. But it just there were times where our O-line just could not get a push going whatsoever. Okay? Not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to call anyone out personally. I just felt like, I understand Cincinnati's D is pretty good, but it was something we were lacking in. And if we are going to repeat, we can't just sit on our hands and hope for Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp to bail us out again. Okay? We got to be a little more balanced if and when we make the playoffs this upcoming season, Lord willing. Okay? Lord willing. But let's continue. Leaning and oversetting are occasional problems, and he needs to improve his handwork in order to keep from getting behind in early stages of pass protection. Bruss is well-rounded with an athletic profile and should become a good starter in his early career. His strengths: he is a 3-year starter with enormous hands, bent knees, ready hands in his pass set, works at staying square in his slides for as long as possible, recognizes quarterback drop points, and sets depth accordingly, athletic in adjusting slide to match the pace of the rusher, uses redirect power and sliding feet to protect his edges, fits run blocks with good momentum from settle steps, centers up contact with a wide strike zone and good lift. I like to hear that. Unencumbered for workup blocks and stretch plays, above average, finding his landmarks as a zone blocker. And taking a look at his weaknesses, he ends up in second in the race to land the first punch. Needs to play with less predictability, more explosive hands. Okay. Too much weight drifts to his outside foot in his sets. Can be a little lazy with his outside hand in pass pro. Okay, that's something to look into. Could be better attention to hand. Could use better attention to hand placement for block security. Needs to keep weight under his pads throughout the sustain phase. Had trouble playing too far out of his toes versus Penn State. Okay. So that's pretty much it. This is his draft profile. He's expected to be a starter. I believe, depending upon how his camp goes, how his preseason goes, how fast he picks up the playbook, I think we're looking at him starting day one. I think he's going to fill that right guard spot on our team because we lost Austin Corbett in free agency, and I believe Sean and the staff is looking for that to happen. I feel like that's what they want to happen. I feel like that's what they're hoping for, and that is the best case scenario for them. But like I said, we'll see. We're going to have to, we can't just say he's the starter right off the bat. We don't know how he's going to adjust in the NFL. I feel, I feel like he's going to adjust well. He's from Wisconsin. Wisconsin is very much known for producing good offensive linemen. And, you know, he looks like he definitely looks like someone who is would fit right in. I think he's gonna fit right in, but you know, you never know. So we have to see it first. So very excited about Logan Bruss. Very happy the Rams went with good, strong interior lineman, big. You know, seems to be very good in run blocking. You know, needs to work on pass pro a little bit, but the running game, I do. Y'all are gonna get so tired of hearing this from me. I am going to stress this all throughout training camp. Okay, all throughout training camp. The Rams on the Rams to-do list to improve for the 2022 NFL season. There are a few things, despite them winning the Super Bowl, that they could improve upon. Just like any of us, we can always improve on something in life. And the Rams, one of those things was run the running game, run blocking. And felt like we were lacking in that a little bit, especially when it counted most in the playoffs. And we are hoping, as am I, that Logan Bruss will help remedy that. So we'll see. We'll see how he performs. But that's going to do it for this video. And I will catch you guys on the next one. And as always, hope everyone had a good weekend. Go Rams.